It's a bit scary, to be fair, right? Bitcoin is in a range. It's not looking good, even though it is in a range, because it does have more of a bearish trajectory. If we look here, it has failed to put in a higher high. It's in fact a higher low compared to where it was at before. So it just feels here like it was at a double top. This is on a 1 hour, but if we were to look on a wider time frame, it would be like a double top. And with one last attempt here, and then this is basically a bearish signal of a pullback, and this is exactly what happened. We had a big pullback here, and now it's gone up a bit with the falling knife, and now it's just continuing downwards, probably to revisit this previous area here of 91k, or perhaps even lower. If we look at the news, analysts say that we could expect Bitcoin to fall as low as $77,000 and continue to be on its long-term bull market course. But the current price fluctuations follow the pattern in the past and do not mean the bull run is over. This is according to CryptoQuant CEO Ki-Young Ju. Ki-Young Ju also says that the 30% price decrease may also align with Bitcoin's past market ecosystem. In the course of the bulls, Bitcoin has been used for high-grade corrections. They get diverted, but finally they're making lone record highs. Plenty of investors take these breaks with a pinch of salt, and they think the growth will inevitably come in the long term. Of course it will come in the long term. I'm not denying that. Bitcoin and meme tokens is the only thing that's performing well in the last 6 months or so, right? Not right now as in right now, but in the last 6 months or so, they have been the only ones performing well. You could argue Solana too. Solana has performed quite well. Unfortunately, Injective not. Polkadot not, Cosmos didn't either, Near Protocol didn't either. There are a lot of brands that are very tech focused and they just don't perform, right? If we look at Solana, okay, Solana had this really nice pop, and this pop was caused because of the Trump token, right? When Trump launched his meme token, because it was on Solana, people are buying Solana to be able to get into Trump. And this is mostly the reason why we had this major catalyst here. Okay, and then the pullback came. So now we have to watch Solana, because this Saturday we're going to have that big unlock where FTX is going to distribute Solana to their investors, to the investors that were caught in that FTX situation. The news are posting about this as well. Solana price dives 35% amid FTX estate unlock. More selling pressure is ahead. So this FTX unlock to investors is causing fear when it comes to Solana, and that's why people are selling. Traders are shorting as well. Also, the macro external factors like the Donald Trump trade wars impacted the dip, of course. And also, let's not forget Libra by Milei. That has also caused quite a bit of FUD as well when it comes to Solana. But the upcoming unlock is going to be 11.2 million sold tokens. Okay, this is concerning because this is a lot of tokens in circulation when the market is very choppy. Okay, so normally in a bull market, I would say that Solana can easily absorb 11.2 million, but now because it's choppy, it's likely going to lead to a dump, as investors who got in very early at around $60, $70, apparently some of those like Pantera Capital, they're just going to dump because they're very incentivized to sell, right? I mean, wouldn't you? If you had 3x the value, why wouldn't you sell, right? Of course you would, given that there's so much uncertainty in the market right now, given that only Bitcoin and meme tokens are performing well, most of the other tokens aren't, right? And as soon as we go up a bit, a pullback comes and takes us back down, right? We're in that nasty range, bearish range, I would say. It's painful because when you believe in tech projects, like solid tech projects, and a lot of the people watching this channel are very tech focused, like you like projects like Cosmos, Polkadot, maybe Near Protocol as well, maybe Algorand, right? A lot of the tech ones are just not performing because people have sold them. People are sick of waiting and hoping for that pipe dream, and they've sold and they're trading meme tokens, or maybe they got out of crypto, maybe they bought Bitcoin, right? There could be a variety of different scenarios here that might have occurred. But a lot of people have clearly sold those tech tokens to do something else with that money, right? Because we can see this being reflected in the market. And so we have to see what could happen with the unlock date approaching. Sol could likely experience further decline. Yes, I do believe this could happen, but we'll see what happens after that, because we may not see any nastiness happen on the day of the unlock or maybe the next day, but perhaps a few days into it, we may be seeing some sell-off. Perhaps, right? It's hard to say. We'll have to see. Solana's funding rate is negative. This indicates that shorts pay longs and the average trader bets on Solana's price to fall ahead of the token unlock. Should this remain the same, the SOL price might struggle to attract substantial demand to counter the anticipated supply shock, and if this is the case, a decline could follow. SOL price risks drop to 6-month low. On the daily chart, Solana's price has fallen below the 20-day exponential moving average, which is a crucial support level. Falling below the 20 EMA means Solana no longer has strong support to trigger a quick bounce. And furthermore, the price is on the verge of dropping below the 0.236 Fibonacci retracement level. If validated, the token might risk another correction. In addition, the relative strength index, which is the RSI, has been on a downtrend since the 35% correction started. This indicates that Solana has not faced any bullish divergence. And if this trend continues, Solana's price could drop towards $120. Historically, over the last 17 Solana token unlocks, the holder has waited some months before selling. And then there's also the bullish scenario that if the demand for the cryptocurrency exceeds the supply, the correction might not happen. Instead, Solana could jump towards $228.13. But it's kind of hard to see something like that happen unless there's some catalyst, right? Here we had a catalyst. Trump launching the meme token, but what catalyst are we going to have that's going to cause it to go back to that level again, right? Or even close to it, even to get to 228, which would be around here. It's pretty hard, right? Nothing is impossible, but given the market cap, given that there's nothing bullish in the market right now, perhaps only if Solana gets that ETF approval, because they have filed for an ETF. So if it does happen, then that could be the bullish sentiment. But we know those things take time. So I think the ETF is pretty much the only hope that we've got right now, given that even memes are kind of taking a hit. Now, there was the Bybit hack as well, which was quite nasty. So investors are pretty let down in the crypto market now. Most investors are investors that believe in tech projects. And then you've also got the gamblers who are flipping meme tokens and doing nothing else but just hunting for those because they want to make quick money. They're also losing money this way, of course. But some people make money through these. So they just prefer to do that and try to get rich quick, as they say. So it's kind of hard to say here what could happen, but this chart looks bearish to me, right? It's pretty clear here that this is a bearish sentiment. Even if we look at the trajectory here, it wasn't terrible, right? It was kind of in a range here and boom, boom. This was the first attempt to go higher. So usually when you get the first attempt and then you get a pullback, you don't usually dump straight away. It usually has one more high, even if it's not as high as this one. But in this case, it was because we had the catalyst with Trump. Whereas here, here we're just basically losing this trend altogether, right? It's higher, low, higher, low, higher, low, right? It's constantly going lower. So usually when you get this, it means that it does want to flip. So we're getting that other kind of market movement to the downside, So here we were in a range for a long time, right, in 2024. But even here, right, as soon as we started going higher, right, as you can see here, we started going higher from $100. We went to $200. Then it pulled back a bit. But even with that pullback, it wasn't bearish straight away, right? As you can see, it tried to go a bit higher. It stayed around the higher mark here, around $150. And then it tried to get close to $200 again, which would have been around the same level as that before it started pulling back further here. But even the pullback wasn't too terrible. So Solana did manage to hold its own throughout 2024 for most of the time, for most of the year, until it caused that catalyst here. So it's kind of hard to say what could happen, but I think after this unlock, the sentiment may turn bullish again, probably sometime after the unlock. I think investors are just waiting for a big sell-off to happen. I think if it takes Solana to $120 or so, and then we may see some sort of bounce, because investors will be like, okay, those guys are out. It's time for us to buy. If it drops below 100, the same. I think they're just hoping for some big discount on Solana before they'll be buying. So it does have to do with Bitcoin as well. If Bitcoin was to go to 110K right now, of course, that'll take Solana to probably $180, which is not great because it used to be 280 not too long ago. But we have to see how the market's going to react. To be fair, I'm personally let down with the crypto market. You know, it's just Bitcoin, Solana, Sui maybe. We're waiting on Nomad to launch as well. You know, when it comes to the rest of the altcoins, it's just not what it used to be, right? It's just meme tokens and a handful of solid projects which are becoming meme platforms. That's pretty much it with the crypto market right now. There's just way too many tokens. You know, money can only be split into so many. So people are just flipping memes now, jumping from one to the next, and they're not buying VC backed tokens anymore because they don't want to be dumped on. It's just a big shift in terms of crypto investor mentality. This is the way I see it. Let me know your thoughts though. What do you think? Drop me a comment below. I'm curious to hear what you have to say, and I'll see you in the next video.